Alright guys, let's talk about the most important thing you should do in crypto, but that nobody is really talking about yet, and that's taking profits. Because if you do not take your profits, you won't make any money in crypto. This is super important. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I determine when I'm gonna take my profits and how. So if you like that already, like the content, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to turn the bell notification on, and there is a Patreon link in the description or in the comments where you can find my Patreon for exclusive content, personal consulting, follow, influencer wallets, etc, etc. But for now, taking profit. So really quick, by the way, Bitcoin is well on the way to make new yearly highs. It's now sitting at 43.7. The high was sitting at 44.7, so we are only $1,000 away. And yeah, then it's basically price discovery again. You know, 48k is definitely something that that seems like a possibility. But at a certain point, the market will be overbought, and especially at the end of the bull run, or before the end of the bull run, better, you should be like, you know, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna take it out. If you don't do that, you will belong to the other like 90% of people in crypto that made money but did not take their profits and then rides the whole way down and then gonna wreck themselves. Okay. First thing to know, it's super important that let's hypothetically take Bitcoin as an example, right? If your target for Bitcoin is, let's say, $200,000 and you start to take profits at 130 or so, just hypothetically, right? And after 130, it goes to 150 and 180 and 200. Did you miss out on the top? Yes. Is that bad? No. You should never try to aim for the top. If a chart does 100x, you will never get 100x out of it, right? If you do, then you are either very lucky or very stupid, right? Because if you are sitting on a coin, let's say you bought a coin for $1 and it goes to $100, you don't know before that happens that it's going there. So if you bought it at $1 and it goes all the way to 50, for example, you are a complete idiot if you do not take your profits yet, even if it could go to $100, because then you just keep on raising the goalpost and eventually it goes back down and you're sitting there riding the wave down thinking it will go back up. So take your profits way before other people even talk or think about it, okay? It doesn't matter if you miss out on more runs. It doesn't matter. You made money. That's what most important in this case. So just want to have that said. So where do you begin? Well, what's for me important, I don't look really at the what I expect for Bitcoin, in this case Bitcoin, because if you know where Bitcoin potentially is going, you also know what altcoins could do. I don't necessarily look like, hey, Bitcoin could go to that price, so I'm gonna start taking profits at these prices. I more look at the time, right? Because it's really hard, well, let me put it like that. It's impossible, of course, to predict what the Bitcoin all-time high is going to be in the next bull run. I can already tell you there will be 0 people in the whole world who will guess that correct. Right? And even if someone does, that's pure luck because you do not know exactly where it's going. But what's way more predictable though is when it is going to happen, right? And also that's, you know, it could be different this time. Of course, everything could be different. Yeah, but if you look, when was this Bitcoin all-time high? End of 2013, end of 2017, end of 2021. So end of 2025 is by far the most logical assumption we can make for Bitcoin to top out. Does it mean that you in November should still be sitting on your bags 100%? No, I will be selling way early in 2025. And again, you might be like, oh yeah, you're gonna miss out on the biggest run and this and that. Maybe. But who gives a fuck? Who cares really, right? Like for example, here in this run, We started the bear market. It ended in March 2020 because of the COVID crash. It had a clear bottom right here, and then we started the bull run. And the bull run actually lasted until April 2021. There, Bitcoin was $65,000. All right. Now you could of course hold on for months to sell for $68,900. So basically no difference. But you have to go through this emotional roller coaster of going from 65K all the way down to 41K and all the way back up again just to time this stop, right? People that were in this bull run and sold everything right here did not care about this right here, right? It went down, it went up again, basically back to where we were, and then it went down again, and then the bear market really started. So don't try to time it at all, okay? So what I'm basically, like I said, is I look when are things likely to top out. I expect end of 2025. But I want to be out of most of my positions already in Q2 2025. That's why I feel like, man, okay, could it go up more? Yeah. Do I miss out on that? Yeah. Do I care? No, because I've made fat profits already. I'm not going to risk all those profits for the fact that it might come down and doesn't go up this time, right? Last cycle, it was like, oh, it was close. Like we topped out, we came down, and just one last push and then it came down. Nobody guarantees you that that's going to happen again. All right, so don't be stupid about that. Now, that's for Bitcoin. Of course, the altcoin market follows Bitcoin, basically exactly what Bitcoin does, but the difference is that whenever Bitcoin goes up 2x, the altcoin market can go up more. Now, the interesting thing is, though, here Bitcoin topped out, right? April 2021, and the altcoin market was sitting at 300 billion. All right. So from that point to the next high, Bitcoin went up another 6%, right? That's what we said, like from 64K to 69K, that's 6%. It's nothing to trade off, right? But the altcoin market was sitting at 307 billion, and at the actual top, it went up to 437 billion. That's another 25%. Now that's worth it. How come? Yeah, the altcoin market is always lagging, right? People put their money in Bitcoin, they make money off of it, and instead of taking profits in stables or cash, whatever, they feel like, okay, now let's put it into altcoins and let that ride, right? That's usually what happens. So it could be that if Bitcoin topped out, that the altcoin market feels like, okay, now it is our time, right? It's what you see right here, end of 2021. This is where Bitcoin topped out, right? This right here. But how come altcoins went on another run? It's because the Bitcoin dominance went down, while Bitcoin wasn't going down that hard, right? So that made sure that altcoins had a little extra push. And then from that moment, the dominance started to, go up, down again, fluctuating, while Bitcoin was structurally going down and altcoins were going down even more than that. Now, one example. I use this time to figure out when I'm gonna sell. I'm not gonna sell all at once, of course. It's also a thing. You DCA into the market and you DCA out of the market, right? Again, if an altcoin, let's go to what has some history, like AVAX, okay? Let's say AVAX goes, let's say your expectation is that AVAX goes to its all-time high again, right? Could not happen, could happen, could go, surpass it. Nobody knows. But let's say it does. What do? Well, it depends on where you bought in the first place. If you bought at pretty cheap levels, you might want to say like, hey, I made a 5x on my money, take my initial out. Once it goes to $50, take 20% out. Once it goes to the next target of $64, for example, take 30% out. Once it goes to $100, take another 30% out. Once it goes to the all-time high, I take another 50% out, right? So all in all, you could see that this chart is doing a 17x. Well, in reality, if you're smart, you will never get that 17x actually. Because that means, first you had to time the bottom, congratulations if that happened. But it also means that you're expecting $150 and that you are not even selling a bit at 135. That's being completely stupid, right? You just made a 15x and you're not selling. What are you? Retard? Come on. Really, sorry. It's so stupid. And a lot of people will get completely wrecked this way because they get too greedy, too greedy. Really, in the last bull run, I thought it as well. Like, not specifically with this coin, but $100, goddamn, yes. Okay, go to 150, and then it's sitting at 110, almost there, and then it's going to 128, almost there, not selling yet, and then goes down, fucked. You're wrecked, right? And you will always think like, what if I just took some profits out of this? And this is how most people will get wrecked. Really, making money with crypto is so easy. We all did it probably last couple of months, right? Making money, you don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be like smart or anything. You just buy when it's super low, right? When everybody is like fearful and when the charts are red and when everything looks like shit, have some balls, buy it. Nothing too complicated about that, right? And now you see it, the chart does it automatically for you. You just turn off your phone for a couple of weeks, look back, I made money, cool. But keeping that money and taking those profits, that's what the hard part is. And therefore I said before, a bull market is way more stressful than a bear market. Because you also don't want to take profits too soon. That's also a thing. Now what I'm doing, for example, I have Seedify. I made some fat ass money on Seedify, right? I really made some good money on Seedify. Now, what I'm doing is I look at Seedify, and you can stake your Seedify tokens in this case, and that's what I'm doing. And I have it in this pool right here, and I still have to stake it for 140 days. So that's April 2024. I'd be like, okay, April 2024. That's nowhere near December 2025. So I can stake it for another 270 days from then. That's 9 months. So that will take me to February 2025. Cool, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna stake it again in April, and then in February 2025, I will probably sell everything. And could it be that from February 2025 until December, it's gonna run like crazy? Yes, that's good. That's definitely possible. But there's a high chance that in February 2025, the price chart is looking completely fantastic compared to my entry point. So why should I care, right? That's really what I'm looking at. Now, in the meantime, you can swing trade it, right? I have some Beam. I bought Beam here. Bought a big fat bag of Beam. I sold it here, most of it, and I've bought it back here, here. So when you make these trades, you can already sit on a fat good free bag of crypto, but that's risky, of course, right? Because I sold it right here, 26. I sold it there. Same case, it went up harder, right? And I did not sell everything, but still. But now I have a good free Beam back. Now, what I'm doing is, you know, I'm just making sure that I get my initial back, and in this case I have, as quickly as possible. And like I said, at a certain point, it depends on your goals, right? I want to make a certain amount of money. I want to make a couple of $1 million with crypto. But I don't need to make 100x to do so, right? So for me, my goal is pretty realistic. Right? Now, whenever I, and let me take Falcon Forge for example, right? You want to have price targets in your mind, okay? So let's say you invested in Falcon Forge. You have to first realize, like, what's the realistic price target in this case? Now, you can always say like, oh, well, going back to the all-time high. Always check out the market cap, right? Like a very good example is Illuvium. A lot of people now feel like, oh, Illuvium is so cheap right now. No, Illuvium is freaking expensive right now. I will never buy it at this price, right? But it came from 1800. Yeah, who cares, right? Who really cares? Because if you take a look at Illuvium, then you will see, if you look at the market cap, it is sitting, it was sitting at a $700 million market cap compared to the 1.1 billion where it came from. So it was already halfway, more than halfway, its previous market cap all-time high. Now, I'm not saying it can't go beyond that, but I am saying, like, in this case, going back to $1,800, it has to do an 18x, right? But an 18x with this market cap, that's not really doable. That's definitely not. That's almost a $10 billion market cap. And that's actually almost 10 times as high as before. So price-wise, going back to the all-time high, is in reality being 10 times more expensive than before. So that's look at that kind of stuff, really. But in this case, Volker Forge, for example, you want to look at it very unbiased, right? You want to look at it like, okay, what is Volker Forge? It's a gaming studio, right? It's a layer 1. Look at similar projects and be like, what is a realistic valuation, right? So let's say you want to compare Volker Forge to Gala, which is something pretty different still, but hey, still. Gala, in the last bull run, was freaking overvalued, by the way. Was sitting, let's say, at a $5 billion market cap. Now, I don't think that Volker Forge will get there, though. But hey, let's say 5 billion, right? So if you look at the market cap right now, you could say like, okay, that's a 30x from this price, right? It's now $6. So 30 times 6, then you will be sitting at a $180 Volker Forged. Again, this is not really the best example, maybe, what you get the math that I'm doing, right? So if $180 is your goal, again, here, if this is your goal, like this is where it could go, one, realize you're gonna be wrong, right? Crypto is not gonna do exactly what your goal is, okay? So if your goal is $180, take 20% spare room, right? Say, okay, let's go off of it by 20%, $140. Let's put it right there, okay? Then you have your goal, but you take a little spare room. Then, again, wherever you bought, make a couple of X's and then at least take your initial out. Then if it does another 2x, take 50% out. If another 2x, take 50% out, or 30 like I said before, 20, whatever feels good for you. But if it goes up and up and up and up, take money out of it in the meantime. Again, if where we are right now is your average entry and it goes to your goal, then you would make a 21x. If you slowly get out of it, you maybe make an 8x, something like that. But is walking away actually putting it to the bank an 8x that bad? You're doing the safest thing, right? You can of course be very risky and be like, okay, buy right now, close my eyes until December 2025 and look what's left. Yeah, there is a chance that it's worth way more than an 8x. There's also a chance that you are completely wrecked and that everything was for nothing. And this strategy, at least you are, securing some profits this way, right? And yeah, that's at least what I'm doing, right? Especially because I only need let's say 5, 6x or something. So my strategy is maybe a lot more safe. It has been a lot more safe during the whole bear market, basically. I was very relaxed, like, okay, yeah, I'm not buying, save myself a lot of money. Yes, of course, I did not buy the exact dip, the exact bottom, but I can tell you nobody did, right? But at least we know, hey, the bottom is very likely in. Now we can start deploying, and that's what we did. And again, I think the crypto market could have a very good dump. If we see some rate cuts by the Fed, then altcoins could take a hit of. Every time I throw a number, people get mad at me. No, it won't go down that much. Okay, over allocated piece of YouTube watcher. I don't know. Won't be the first time. But that's one I'm going to buy more at least. And it's good to be prepared for that. And then just slowly get out of it. Slowly get out of it. And you can make way more than just an 8x. I mean, it's very simple. We talk about that a lot. Like launch pads, easy. What you can also do is, for example, I made a 6x on Superverse. I actually took that money already. And now I can put it into something else, right? So let's say, I'm not going to tell you with how much money, but let's say I put in $1,000, right? $1,000 around 11 cents. Yeah, let's say. I made a 6x, right? I take 6K. Let's say it goes and have a correction of 60%, right? And I buy back right there with 6K. Then, if it goes up to where we are right now, it's 2.5x on 6K, right? That's $15,000. So I actually made a 15x where the market actually did a 6x. It is that simple. So, did I have my math correct? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's sweet. So, it is actually that simple. You can swing trade the market if you have the balls to do so. And if you feel like, okay, I want to, put some money in at times where it looks like pretty bearish, or I want to take some money out where it looks bullish. That goes against your feeling, but it's usually the best way to do so. So by the time it comes, we will talk a lot about taking profits. For now, how my positions are looking, I have, most of my money in CDFI, in the Launchpad vestings that I have. So I have a big passive income dollar-wise. So that's good. I have some altcoins and I have some Bitcoin. And I have a good cash position as well. I think now around 40%, excluding that what's still getting vested. So I'm prepared for both scenarios. I know that it is very common for the market in this phase of the cycle to dump extremely hard when nobody expects it. But I also know that, hey, it might not happen. We don't know. All we know, it happened many times before, and all we know, things are not always exactly the same. So it could go both places, right? My biggest piece of advice is stop pretending that you know what's going to happen. You're not so smart, right? Nobody is. Nobody can predict stuff. That's not being smart, but that's having the capability to predict things. That's not gonna happen. You don't know that. So either you are now fully out of the market, and you better hope and pray that it goes down. Either you're fully into the market, you better hope and pray that it's just gonna go up. Or you're a little in and you are a little out. Half of both. In that case, no, you won't make that big returns if the market goes up, but you are also very good prepared if the market goes down, and then you will make way better returns. And that's the lowest risk. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. Because I only need a 6x, right? The people in here that maybe need a 30x, yeah, You have to look at the risky shit. You have to really take some risk. And there is a way high chance that you are going to lose your money. The chance that I'm going to lose my money if I just play the market because I just need a 6x, yeah, that's very low. I can play it very safe, right? That's easy. And that's apart from launch pads, because these launch pads alone will give me more than a 6x. But that's, I will see about that. But this is about just buying and selling on the open market. So do take your profits. Don't be a fool. Don't think it could go to $100. So I'm not taking profits anywhere before 90. Stupid. Again, IMX, let's say your prediction is it goes to $20. You are an idiot if you don't already take profits at 12. That's halfway your prediction. It feels bad, but there's also a very good chance that your prediction doesn't come true, right? And you do not want to look back at the market and be like, oh, I wish I did. That's such a bad feeling. Believe me, don't do that. Don't do that. Making money is better than not making money. So yeah, that's essentially that's all what it is. So guys, if you like the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. I'm gonna be a dad for the second time anytime now. Today is the day the baby should come. So hey, I don't know, maybe now, maybe tomorrow. But I have some pre-recorded videos laying around for when that happens, because I won't be here for a while, of course. But there will be some very informative videos for the next couple of days, weeks. I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. So thanks again and have a very blessed day.